This state is bigger than entire countries, has roads with no speed limit, places where bears outnumber people, and dinosaur fossils older than history itself. And that's just scratching the surface. These are 35 incredible facts about Montana, and some of them will absolutely blow your mind. Fact 35. Montana's single U.S. House district. Despite its vast size, Montana has historically had only one U.S. House district for much of its history. Only recently was the state split to accommodate population growth. This means that for decades, a single representative spoke for over 1 million residents, connecting the state's wide-ranging communities, from mountains to plains, rivers to small towns, under one voice in Washington, D.C. Fact 34. Some of the best fly fishing rivers on Earth. For anglers, Montana is paradise. The state boasts some of the best fly fishing rivers on Earth, from the Madison and Yellowstone to the Bitterroot. These rivers teem with trout and other game fish, set against dramatic backdrops of mountains and forests. Montana's commitment to conservation ensures that anglers can enjoy pristine waters for generations to come. Fact 33. More ghost towns than incorporated cities. Montana is a land of stories frozen in time. Remarkably, the state has more ghost towns than incorporated cities. Many of these towns sprang up during gold, silver, and copper booms, only to be abandoned when the resources ran out. Today, they serve as haunting reminders of Montana's frontier past, drawing tourists, historians, and photographers alike. Fact 32. Major producer of wheat, barley, and lentils. Montana is a major agricultural powerhouse, producing vast quantities of wheat, barley, and lentils. The state's fertile plains and long growing season make it ideal for these crops. Montana farmers combine modern techniques with time-tested methods, feeding not just the nation but the world. Agriculture remains a cornerstone of Montana's economy, shaping both its landscapes and communities. Fact 31. Miles City, one of the largest bucking horse sales. Miles City is famous for hosting one of the largest bucking horse sales in the world. Cowboys and ranchers gather here annually to buy, sell, and showcase some of the toughest, most spirited horses in the West. The sale is more than business, it's a cultural celebration, preserving Montana's ranching heritage and rodeo traditions while keeping the frontier spirit alive. Fact 30. The state flower, bitterroot. Montana's state flower is the bitterroot, a hardy plant that thrives in rocky soil and harsh conditions. This small but resilient flower symbolizes the perseverance and beauty of Montana itself. Native to the western plains and mountains, the bitterroot has inspired explorers, settlers, and modern Montanans for centuries, becoming an enduring emblem of the state. Fact 29. More wildlife species than livestock breeds. Montana is home to more wildlife species than livestock breeds, making it a paradise for nature lovers. The state supports everything from predators like grizzly bears and wolves to majestic elk, bison, and countless bird species. While ranching is important to Montana's economy, the abundance and diversity of wildlife remind us that this land is still wild at heart. Fact 28. Glacier National Park, 700-plus miles of hiking trails. Glacier National Park, often called the crown of the continent, has over 700 miles of hiking trails winding through pristine wilderness. From easy strolls along crystal-clear lakes to challenging climbs up towering peaks, Glacier offers adventures for every type of hiker. Along the way, visitors may encounter grizzly bears, mountain goats, and breathtaking vistas that seem almost untouched by time. Fact 27. Fort Benton, a historic port. The town of Fort Benton on the Missouri River was once called the birthplace of Montana. In the 19th century, it became one of the most important ports west of the Mississippi, serving as a hub for trade and transportation. Steamboats brought goods, settlers, and news upriver, making Fort Benton a vital link between Montana and the rest of the country. Today, the town preserves that history with museums and historic architecture. Fact 26. Montana has no sales tax. Montana is one of only 5 U.S. states without a sales tax, meaning residents and visitors can shop without paying extra at the register. This tax-free policy makes Montana especially attractive for small businesses and travelers looking to buy local crafts, outdoor gear, or souvenirs. It's just one of the many ways Montana stands out in a country full of taxes. Fact 25. The Missouri River begins in Montana. The Missouri River, the longest river in North America, begins its journey in Montana's Rocky Mountains. From small mountain streams, it grows into a mighty river that winds across the continent for more than 2,300 miles. The Missouri has shaped ecosystems, human settlement, and trade for centuries, and Montana proudly claims its source as part of its rich natural heritage. Fact 24. Lewis and Clark spent more time in Montana. During their famous expedition from 1804 to 1806, Lewis and Clark spent more time in Montana than in any other state. Traversing mountains, rivers, and plains, they mapped the land, interacted with native tribes, and recorded wildlife observations that remain invaluable to historians today. Montana's landscapes challenged them physically and inspired some of their most detailed journals, making the state central to the story of American exploration. Fact 23. Most miles of public access rivers. Montana leads the nation in miles of river designated for public access. More than any other state, Montanans and visitors can float, fish, or paddle along countless rivers and streams. From the crystal-clear waters of mountain creeks to the mighty Missouri, Montana's waterways are open to everyone, ensuring nature and recreation remain accessible to all. Fact 22. Cut Bank's record cold temperature drop. Montana's climate can be extreme. In the town of Cut Bank, a weather record was set for the largest temperature drop in 24 hours, an astonishing 100-degree change. This dramatic shift is caused by Chinook winds, which can melt snow and warm the air rapidly. Conversely, Arctic air can plunge temperatures just as fast. Living in Montana means preparing for surprises from the sky, both hot and cold. Fact 21. One of the darkest night skies in the continental U.S. Montana boasts some of the darkest night skies in the continental United States. Far from city lights, the stars shine brilliantly, revealing the Milky Way in all its glory. Stargazers and astrophotographers flock here to capture breathtaking views of constellations, meteor showers, and even the northern lights. In Montana, the night sky feels alive, vast, and almost within reach. Fact 20. No general speed limit on rural highways. Montana is famous for its freedom, especially on the road. For years, the state had no general speed limit on rural highways during daylight hours, as long as drivers traveled at a reasonable and prudent speed. While regulations have evolved, this policy became legendary, symbolizing Montana's vast spaces and independent spirit. Here, the road doesn't feel confining, it feels limitless. Fact 19. Sue the T-Rex was discovered in Montana. The largest and most complete Tyrannosaurus rex skeleton ever discovered, known as Sue, was found in Montana. Unearthed in the Badlands, this fossil revolutionized what scientists know about one of history's most fearsome predators. Sue's size, preservation, and detail provide rare insight into the life of a creature that ruled the Earth more than 66 million years ago. Fact 18. Extreme temperature swings. Montana experiences some of the most extreme temperature swings in the United States. In certain areas, temperatures have risen or fallen more than 100 degrees in a single day, often due to powerful Chinook winds. One moment, snow blankets the ground. Hours later, it can feel like spring. This unpredictability is part of daily life in Montana and a reminder of nature's raw power. Fact 17. Over 100 mountain ranges. Montana isn't defined by just one mountain chain. It has more than 100 distinct mountain ranges, more than any other state. These ranges create dramatic scenery and isolated valleys, shaping wildlife habitats and human settlement alike. From jagged peaks to rolling ridgelines, Montana's mountains feel endless, each range with its own character and history. Fact 16. Virginia City, once a territorial capital. Today, Virginia City feels frozen in time, a quiet ghost town tucked into Montana's hills. But in the 1860s, this town was the beating heart of the territory. During the gold rush, Virginia City exploded with miners, merchants, and dreamers. It became Montana's territorial capital, shaping laws and governance during a critical moment in Western expansion. When the gold ran out, people moved on, but the town remained, preserving a rare window into frontier life. Fact 15. 7 Indian reservations with living cultures. Montana is home to 7 Indian reservations, each representing a distinct tribe with its own language, traditions, and history. These communities maintain deep connections to the land, passing down cultural knowledge through generations. From art and storytelling to stewardship of natural resources, Montana's tribal nations continue to shape the state's identity today. Fact 14. Butte, the richest hill on Earth. At the height of the Industrial Revolution, Butte, Montana, was known as the richest hill on Earth. Beneath its streets lay one of the world's most valuable copper deposits, supplying the metal that powered America's electrification. Butte's copper fueled factories, cities, and technological progress, shaping not just Montana, but the entire nation. Fact 13. Montana produces more sapphires than any other state. Montana is the leading producer of sapphires in the United States. These gemstones are found primarily in the western part of the state, formed deep underground over millions of years. Montana sapphires come in a stunning range of colors: deep blues, soft pinks, and golden yellows, each stone uniquely shaped by nature. Today, these gems are prized not only for their beauty, but also for their ethical, traceable origins. Fact 12. Ekalaka and world-class dinosaur fossils. Near the small town of Ekalaka in southeastern Montana lies one of the richest dinosaur fossil regions in the world. Montana's Badlands have yielded fossils from Tyrannosaurus rex, Triceratops, and many other prehistoric giants. These discoveries help scientists understand how dinosaurs lived, evolved, and eventually disappeared, making Montana a key player in unlocking Earth's ancient history. Fact 11. The largest migratory elk herd in the U.S. Montana is home to the largest migratory elk herd in the United States. Each year, tens of thousands of elk move across the landscape in search of seasonal grazing grounds. These migrations can span dozens of miles, crossing valleys, rivers, and mountain passes. Elk are a keystone species here, shaping vegetation patterns and supporting Montana's ecosystems. Witnessing an elk migration is one of the most powerful wildlife spectacles in North America. Fact 10. Grizzly bears outnumber humans in remote areas. In some of Montana's most remote regions, grizzly bears outnumber humans. Montana is home to one of the largest grizzly populations in the lower 48 states. Protected lands, low population density, and expansive wilderness allow these powerful animals to thrive. In places like the Northern Rockies, humans are visitors, and bears are the true residents. It's a rare reminder of what North America once looked like before widespread development. Fact 9. Headwaters of 3 major river systems. Amazingly, Montana is home to the headwaters of 3 major North American river systems, something no other state can claim. From Montana's mountains, water flows toward the Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, and even Hudson Bay in Canada. Rivers like the Missouri, Columbia, and Saskatchewan all begin as modest streams in Montana's high country before traveling thousands of miles across the continent. This makes Montana a true hydrological crossroads of North America. Fact 8. The Continental Divide runs through Montana. Montana is split by one of North America's most important natural features, the Continental Divide. This invisible line determines the direction water flows across the continent. Rain or snow falling on one side eventually reaches the Pacific Ocean, while water on the other side flows toward the Atlantic Ocean. The Continental Divide runs through Montana's rugged mountain ranges, quietly shaping the geography of an entire continent. Fact 7. Over 3,000 named rivers and streams. Montana is a water-rich state, with more than 3,000 named rivers and streams flowing across its landscapes. From icy mountain creeks to wide, slow-moving rivers, Water shapes nearly every corner of the state. These waterways support agriculture, wildlife, recreation, and some of the best fly fishing on Earth. For many Montanans, rivers aren't just scenery. They're lifelines that define the land and connect communities. Fact 6. Yellowstone National Park extends into Montana. When most people think of Yellowstone National Park, they think of Wyoming. But Yellowstone doesn't belong to just one state. Portions of this legendary park extend into Montana and Idaho as well. Yellowstone is the world's first national park, famous for its geothermal features, including Old Faithful and thousands of hot springs. Montana's section of Yellowstone provides key wildlife corridors and pristine wilderness that help sustain one of the most intact ecosystems left on Earth. Here, bison roam freely, wolves hunt naturally, and geothermal forces remind us that the land beneath Montana is very much alive. Fact 5. 3 distinct ecosystems in one state. Montana is the only U.S. state that contains 3 distinct ecosystems: wide open plains, rugged mountain ranges, and arid desert badlands. In the east, sweeping grasslands stretch endlessly. In the west, towering mountains dominate the skyline. And in places like the eastern badlands, desert-like landscapes carve dramatic shapes into the earth. This incredible diversity allows Montana to support an unusually wide range of wildlife, plants, and natural environments, all within one state. Fact 4. Montana has more cattle than people. Here's a fact that surprises many people. Montana has more cattle than people. Ranching has been a cornerstone of Montana's economy and culture for generations. Vast grasslands provide ideal grazing conditions, and cattle ranches often stretch for tens of thousands of acres. This ranching lifestyle isn't just an industry. It's a way of life that shapes Montana's traditions, communities, and identity. Fact 3. Glacier National Park is mostly in Montana. More than half of Glacier National Park is located right here in Montana. Often called the crown of the continent, this park is home to dramatic mountain ranges, ancient glaciers, and over 700 miles of hiking trails. Glacier National Park protects one of the most pristine ecosystems in North America, where grizzly bears, wolves, mountain goats, and hundreds of bird species still roam freely. For many visitors, Glacier isn't just a park. It's a reminder of what the world looked like before modern development. Fact 2. Why it's called Big Sky Country. Montana's nickname, Big Sky Country, isn't just poetic, it's literal. With few tall buildings, minimal light pollution, and miles of open land, the sky feels impossibly large here. Clouds seem closer. Sunsets stretch across the horizon. And at night, the stars explode into view with breathtaking clarity. Early settlers and native tribes alike were struck by this overwhelming sense of openness. The sky doesn't just sit above Montana, it surrounds you, reminding you how vast the natural world really is. Fact 1. Montana is the 4th largest state by land area. Montana is enormous. In fact, it ranks as the 4th largest state in the United States by land area, behind only Alaska, Texas, and California. To put that into perspective, Montana is larger than entire countries like Germany or Japan. And yet, despite its massive size, Montana is one of the least populated states in the nation. With just over 1 million residents spread across more than 147,000 square miles, there are vast regions where you can drive for hours without seeing another town or another person. This extreme contrast between size and population is one of the defining characteristics of Montana and sets the stage for everything else about the state. From bucking horses and golden harvest to ghost towns, world-class rivers, and historic representation, Montana is a state of contrasts, a place where history, nature, and culture meet under the big sky.